So, today on the Unsettled, we're going to be discussing the crazy road trip of the Tromp family. It was heavily documented. Are you excited for this one?
Not really.
Why?
No one dies. They're all found.
Does that depress you?
A little bit.
Okay, so this one's not so as disturbing or as fucked up as the rest of them.
No.
So there's no viewer discretion advised in this one. It's perfectly normal. Well, it's not really normal, but
It's not normal, no.
it's not normal behaviour.
No.
That's what we can assume from this.
Mm.
Yeah. So, like I said, today on the Unsettled, we're going to be discussing the crazy road trip of the Tromp family, where members of the family go on a gadget-free road trip.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, pretty much like a no tech holiday
Sounds fucking boring.
for the day.
Well, it's not for the day, is it? I mean,
One's for the day.
it does spread out a little bit. Right, so I guess I'll give you some input on why I kind of like this case, and he's already.
No, I do like it purely for the fact of the only thing that comes to mind is why.
Doesn't it make you curious?
That's the only thing that makes me curious.
See, the one thing I like about the unsettled cases of families, and as you can tell, I probably do like them. I did the Sodder family review, and we did the other family, and there's always that little bit of mystery of why a family would vanish or just decide to up and leave.
Yeah. And there's a big question mark over this family.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems like I don't know. Maybe there's some other shady goings on with this family.
Maybe not. We shall have a look. We'll have to just.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
Right. So on Monday. So on the Monday, August the 29th, 2016, is it Sylvan, Australia?
Yeah.
Am I getting there?
It's basically it's Sylvan within Victoria within Australia.
I might just say Australia, make life a bit easier. I'm not good with names.
Just stick with the Sylvan.
Sylvan, okay, yeah. So this happened in 2016. There we go.
Yeah.
I should have just said that.
It is really recent, this case. I've got to admit, it's one of our recent ones.
Right. I could always find really older ones, maybe 1820.
I don't know. Drop a comment below if you want any old ones or even more recent ones. But
Yeah,
this is one of the recent ones we've done.
Yeah, but when they're really old cases, they don't have any proper forensic research to them, so you could go around killing everyone and get away with it.
True.
I'm just
pointing out the fact.
Well,
that
I have
this
got
is the
old
most
ones ready. I have folders.
So do we all.
Yeah, but
I'm just pointing out. Don't get your knickers in a twist.
Right up my arse. Right, so so Mark Tromp, aged 51, and his wife Jacoba. That's quite a cool name. Yeah, Jacoba Tromp, aged 53, along with their 3 children: Rihanna, aged 29, Mitchell, aged 25, and Ella, aged 22. Fucking long numbers and names, mate. All suspiciously fled their home farm. This road trip captured Australian media, all worldwide. It's another Australia case. It really is. So, local police sergeant Mark Knight said it has to be the most bizarre case in over 30 years. I think that's probably why it also.
That's probably why it got so big of a media coverage.
As police officials became baffled why this family would just up and leave their home. It is a bit weird.
It is baffling.
It is, because the family ran a successful earth moving business. They had a berry farm, to which their children worked 7 days a week.
That's long hours, though.
I bet they paid them nothing.
Probably.
High off berries.
Gotta love those red currants.
Berry juice. I would like to add, so this whole family just decided to up and leave. They decided that something was going on where they had to leave. The police entered their home and they found their mobile phones, passports, credit and debit cards.
Yep.
So they'd left everything technical or anything that could be traced back to them there.
Yep.
So they've literally just gone bareback with nothing.
I'd like to say as well that all of their cars that were parked in the driveway had the keys still in the ignition.
So they were obviously deciding what car to take. Let's start them all up and see what one's got the most fuel. I think they ended up taking Ella's car.
Yeah.
Which was, I think, a Peugeot, but I think we'll get into that. I think.
It's a silver Peugeot station wagon.
So basically it's cash only, and this family is staying off the grid, which is still quite weird really. Like, they wanted to remain low key and hide.
Which is already suspicious as it is.
The family drove all day and night till they got to, I'm going to say it wrong, but I've written it down as Bathurst. But I'm sure it's wrong.
To us it's Bathurst.
Bathurst?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Bathurst, there we go. See, don't trust me with words. I'll literally mess them up completely. So, so they were miles away from their home, but unlike the rest of the family, Mitchell brought his phone. At this point, I was probably thinking, like, at this point, if like my family decided to up and leave and said, keep your phone, I was like, fuck off. I ain't staying in the car with you lot.
That's going in the inside.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, why? I also thought maybe he had a girlfriend as well, and he wanted to like contact her. Like, I was thinking, like, you don't just leave important things at home, or maybe he wasn't as misguided, or maybe delusional, or maybe something else as the rest of. Maybe he was just thinking like his family's nuts, like to just up and leave your home, leave the front door unlocked.
Maybe he just wanted to like keep the phone until the family got to a safe place or somewhere, just in case anything did happen.
Meh, maybe. But roughly 19 miles into this crazy little trip that they're on, his parents forced him to throw it out the car, and said that they.
I can only just imagine that one of his sisters was like, "He's got his phone. It's not fair."
Can you imagine the arguments? How come he's got one and I haven't?
It's not fair. I had to leave mine at home.
So they basically said to him,
"Throw it,
throw it, because you know it could be used to track us."
To track us.
Like, this family's on the fucking.
They're on something, mate.
I want to be on it. I reckon it'd do
a groovy, lovely trip of a lifetime.
So, on Tuesday, August the 30th, Mitchell left or ran from his family at around 7 o'clock in the morning. He's like, fuck that!
What's this for a laugh?
The family then went to Genova Caves. Janolan Caves?
Janolan Caves.
Janolan Caves. Oh, just throw it in there. Make up any name you want, they went to a cave. Alright. That Tuesday, at the
Janolan Caves, just near the Blue Mountains in Australia.
Do you just like look up where all these cases are on the maps?
Well, I kind of have to research.
No, I mean, like, do you
you're not very good at the bloody place names, so I've got to find out roughly where I am.
I told the story. They only like it when I tell the story. They don't like it any other time.
You just can't. You tell the story but can't pronounce the road names, the names, and the.
All they need to know is something's going on. That's it. That's all they need to know. So yeah. Anyway, as I said, like he ran, left his family, thought, "Fuck this, I'm leaving." So he left. Yeah. The family then went to the caves that Tuesday. At the caves, Rihanna and Ella broke off from the family by stealing a car.
Yep. And headed back down south.
Yeah. Like, it makes me wonder, like, you've seen The Shining, haven't you? Do you reckon this family were thinking, like, our children are fucked? I'm fucked in the head. Like, it could have turned into The Shining, easily.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there was no red rum on this trip.
No. That's probably what sent them over the edge.
This is just a magic mystery tour.
So, the girls drove the car. Is it Goulburn?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got that one correct.
You got that one right.
Well, where they reported their parents as missing.
Yeah.
So they broke off, and now they've just gone to the police and gone, our parents are missing.
Well,
they decided to run.
Yeah, but they didn't know where the parents were headed.
Do you reckon they all just came out of a trance all at once?
Well, I think Ella, she was the oldest that drove the
youngest.
Oh, the youngest.
That was their car they took. She was 22.
Huh. So it must have been, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think she'd come out of it she got back home. No, she kind of like clicked out.
But
like obviously Mitchell clicked out first.
Yeah, but then Ella and Rihanna split up strangely.
We don't know whether they had an argument that made them split or that Rihanna just run.
But Rihanna was found in the back of Keith Whitaker's truck.
Yes,
he was driving, then felt a bump in the back of his chair, so he pulled over. He called the police. Rihanna was in a catatonic state.
Upon finding this poor deluged girl in the back.
So Rihanna was in a catatonic state and did not know her name or location. Which now makes me think they're all off their fucking tits. They've been smoking the wacky backy.
Well, I can imagine she was more keyed into maybe the family.
Because she was
delusion.
the oldest?
She was the oldest, maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, so Ella made it home by Tuesday night. The police was already there. When the police began to investigate the home a little deeper, the home was unlocked and so much was out of place. So the home was kind of like a mess, like someone had been looking for something. It seemed the family had gone through years of their financial records and piles of documents, and the officer stated that piles were ordered and put across each room in different layouts.
And they were done by numerical order.
Yeah.
Of oldest to most recent.
And the officers stated it seemed like the family were looking for something.
Or...
like what? It makes you think what the family were hiding. Like
it makes you think what Mark.
Yeah.
Like that Mark and Jacob was hiding.
I mean, not being funny.
Obviously, the kids wouldn't know what.
You leave your passport at home already. Then whoever gets into your home can take your passport, your credit card, your debit card, your mobile phone. You've left valuables and personal information laying around, but you've managed to stockpile your financial records of owning an earth moving business.
And obviously the berry farm, which was doing very well, apparently.
No, that's what? Why?
I don't know. I just this is what made this case interesting.
Yeah, so
because it's so many things that you would.
The family also stated that they were gonna fly, and then they also said, no, we can't fly anywhere because they will find us by our passports.
Yeah. So leave them behind. You can't withdraw any money.
Yeah.
Because you've got your credit and debit cards.
This is another crazy thing. They went 500 plus miles.
On just cash in their pocket.
Like, I couldn't be fucked to travel 60 miles if I was running away from someone.
No, but to be fair, mate, this is Australia, so it's like the next town over would probably be 120 miles away. Like,
So we kind of alright. So Mitchell returned the next day by getting the trains back.
Yeah, he returned that morning.
Yeah. Meanwhile, his parents drove to a place called you love his name Wanggrata. You always have to do that. Where Mark was linked to a case where a young couple claimed the car and model that the family took on their trip and number plate was tailgating them at night at 10 o'clock. The couple was playing Pokemon Go. Oh, there's a Pikachu.
You would, wouldn't you?
Can you imagine her going, there's a Pikachu, and you're there like, take this as a car full of me. This is really off. Really fucking strange. Who gives a shit about Pikachu? We're being tailgated.
On my arse.
Like, why? So, yeah, basically, this young couple were playing Pokemon Go at 10 o'clock at night, and they realised the car was behind them, and they were that close to them.
Yeah, it was that close that
he couldn't even see his own headlights.
Yeah. Right,
so this is where it gets a little bit more weird, and I suppose if this happened to me at night, I'd think, what the fuck is this person on? Like, to be honest.
Yeah.
So the couple pulled to the side of the road, and the car that belonged to Ella, stopped behind them. Then, allegedly, Mark got out of the car, ran towards them at speed, then stopped and stared at them.
About halfway between the two cars.
Yeah.
At this point, and just a blank stare.
Yeah.
At the driver.
Yeah.
which you can only imagine what was going through this
I bet it was
guy's
like,
mind.
what
Oh,
the
God.
fuck? And then he ran off into the woods, leaving the car and the keys there.
Just there. Still, the engine was still running.
It's then thought that Mark then walked into a park and disappeared. Police searched, but all they found was the keys in the car sat on the road. A break-in happened at a motel that night, to which they suspected Mark had done and stayed there overnight. So, on September the 1st, his wife Jacoba tried booking a hotel and was found walking the streets in an agitated, worried state. From here, she was taken to a hospital as she tried booking a hotel room, and then taken to be with Rihanna, who was also in a psychiatric hospital, and both was having mental health treatment.
I'd just like to say that Jacoba was actually found wandering the street in the town of Yas.
So you wanted to add the town?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yas.
Right, so back at the family home, the son made an emotional appearance in front of the media after his family had caught the attention of every newspaper, TV, news outlet, saying that he was baffled by his parents' behaviour. It was though they was paranoid and scared. They pleaded for their father to come home, claiming he wasn't dangerous. But I don't know, that night beforehand, mate, him running up to a car, that's kind of scary for me.
Yeah, that would freak anyone out.
If someone ran up to me at night time,
I wouldn't be just sitting there, mate. I'd be hitting that car into reverse and getting the fuck out of there.
I'd get out and be like, what's your problem?
Yeah, but you think as soon as you made your move to the door, he's then stopped and stares blankly at you. You're like, nah.
I'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to turn up the music.
Where's my phone? I'm going to catch myself a Charizard.
Yeah, Rio, we've got to need a Charizard. They'll protect me. Then they found Mark 6 days after this crazy trip. He was on the side of the road at 5:50 p.m. He spent 5 hours at the station and had a mental health assessment. He also gave media photographers the middle finger
as they were driving away.
He later released a statement apologising and thanking everyone who helped and those who gave aid to finding the family on their weird road trip.
Yes.
Right.
With no reason why.
Yeah. So it's weird the family just went along with it. It seemed Michael wasn't believing his family's paranoia.
No.
What's his name? Mitchell.
Mitchell.
There we go. So I knew it was going to happen eventually. There we go. There was no sign of the family on drugs, no debts, and no weird cult activity. I wanted a cult.
I was expecting something more.
I'm only here for the cult.
I was expecting
I'm only here
something
for the
more.
cult. So why did the family run from their home? Why did they run off individually?
You would think, going on the mental thinking.
I would also like to state before he continues, can Monster please sponsor us?
Yeah, the amount that we get through.
My piss is green.
I'd like to say with the
Shrek piss.
Get out of my swamp.
Go on.
So with the mental thinking of I'm being followed.
Yep.
You would go get out as far as you can.
Yeah.
Split.
Yeah.
Each go your different ways with the inevitability of meeting up later.
Like, I was just like to say, if my family ever planned a road trip and I ran away, like, they would come and find me. They wouldn't think, fuck it, let him fend for himself.
No, but in the mental
right,
state,
yes,
you would split.
This is what I mean. No. If you are paranoid, right, and this whole family seemed to be paranoid at this point, they took everyone on board and they were paranoid they were being followed. So surely when one of them splits, they're all going to be fucking scared. They've got to be like, right, we need to find him, as he went first.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Mitchell went first.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I've got it right this time. Mitchell went first. So if they're all paranoid that something bad's going to happen to them, you'd go out and find him. You wouldn't think, fuck it, let him fend for himself.
It depends how far the paranoia is.
Okay, so my first thoughts, right, I wrote it down, you know, because I'm a professional.
Okay.
Right, my first thoughts, the family was poisoned by toxins on the farm.
Yeah.
Right. But nothing else could point at this, minus them having delusions depending who was around. So if there was toxins on the farm, they could
Which
be
there
breathing.
is. There is.
They could be breathing in these toxins, and it wouldn't show up because it's everyday chemicals.
True.
Right.
Like a prolonged exposure.
Yeah.
But
There we go.
the type of products and the
Yeah.
type of chemicals that they were using on the berry farm,
Right.
and in the earth moving aspect, they were all tested by the police.
Yeah.
And there is no, lack of a better word, there is no psychotic substances that could be used.
Okay. Right. I also thought something could have happened to their water supply.
Okay.
Right? Because the mother and father seem to be the most fucked up ones in this whole process. And they would drink more coffee or tea than the children.
That is where your flaw is, because they would have to boil the kettle, which would take away the toxins.
Okay. I just wanted to point this
No,
out.
that's...
Yeah, I was just pointing this out. So maybe they didn't drink coffee or tea, and maybe they were just drinking water, being on the farm.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
You would expect like a big...
Yeah,
you know.
like a big cylinder, drinking it out on the farm, right? And this is why, as you know, the mother and father would drink more than say the children would drink more fizzier drinks, more sugary drinks.
Yeah, to give them that edge.
Right, yeah, so that was my first thought, right?
Mm.
So here's my second thought. Maybe they did have someone after them,
Okay.
right? I mean, they own land.
What sort of like money shark?
Yeah, they own land.
Yeah.
A farmhouse. Anyone could have wanted to buy it on their wanted or upset people that worked for them. Yeah, like people that worked for them might have wanted more money.
A money dispute.
Right.
A money dispute.
At one
or
point, the family
upset
decided
husband.
it might be wise to leave the country, but then realised they could trace us with the passports. But to me, it seems likely they all came to their senses as the days went on.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I kind of obviously gather. As
I came to that sort of
Yeah.
first thought that they gradually got less and less
I mean,
paranoid and
obviously, what I've said, like, if they were all believed that they were going to get killed, like, say, by a hitman, right, you wouldn't let your children run off and fend for themselves. That's bad parenting.
it might be bad parenting.
It's bad parenting.
It's if the weak ones are slowing you down,
Yeah.
you cut them down.
Yeah, okay. And my third theory was, many speculate as what you called it as it's a French term.
Yeah.
Is it folie à deux or something?
Yeah, folie à deux.
Folie à deux, a rare psychological condition that affects close families.
Yeah, it's called madness of two.
Yeah, though doctors are unsure who suffered it first, which they spread to the rest of the family.
They suspected that it would be the parents
Yeah, in all having delusions
because
and
they were the
paranoia.
last ones to be found.
Yeah, in which they, like, so this kind of, is it a mental health issue?
It is a mental health issue.
Is it really? It only lasts for a while.
No, it's basically a mental break.
Right, so basically
It's a mental snap.
what I put was, is it possible that the mother and father started having these delusions and paranoia in which they spur each other on? They're like, oh, there's someone outside, and then everyone's like, I see them too.
They back
Yeah.
each other's up.
Yeah,
They
and
back
then
each
gradually they'll put the fear into them, and then the children will be like, oh, I see that man again, because you're going to believe what your parents tell you. And like I said, they were a very close-knit family.
Yeah.
They didn't really go out, so they're bound to
No,
discuss certain
they're always
events.
together.
Yeah.
So you've got that aspect of if you stay in somewhere long enough, then
Yeah.
you start believing something that's
So
maybe going on or
basically,
not
the
going
mum
on.
would say yes, like a man has been outside for a few hours. Then the tension gets worse with
Or
them.
that same car has driven
Yeah.
past.
So
again and
they
again
would
and
they
again.
would then all start to exaggerate.
Yeah.
Right. Like you said, it's happened in couples, parents, and children and siblings. It's all like a game of paranoia.
Yeah.
Top trumps.
Pretty much a game of
With,
top trumps.
with the
but-
surname Trump.
Yeah.
Top Trump.
Top trump.
Top trumps. That's what we should call this video.
Top trumps.
Top trumps. You can buy it in the link below.
But it is like obviously the French
Yeah.
the French language thing. The actual mental disease is actually it's built up in close knit communities.
Yeah.
It has been said to affect a town before.
I also wrote down something here. It also stated in quite a few reports that Jacoba and Mark were showing signs of mental stress, right? And believed they was going to be robbed and killed. This is what they were believing.
Down to that. But then if they were going to get robbed and killed, you would expect them to drain their accounts
Maybe.
and take as much money as possible and then leave.
Do we really need to do our own separate theories on this one?
I don't know.
They both seem... Because I would go with the fact that they've just exaggerated the whole thing and spurred each other on. So what have you managed to write down in your conclusion? Go
on. So basically I've written down that it could go with the folie à deux, so madness of two.
Yeah.
Is how it starts.
Yeah.
Then you add the fact that it's a close-knit community.
What family?
Or family. Then you would add the aspect of mass paranoia.
Yeah. It's very possible, very plausible as well.
Purely due to the movements that the whole family had done.
Yeah.
It also looks like that driving and splitting drive, split, drive. It kind of...
It seems like they were all waking up.
Yeah.
From their own delusion.
But then it does, as I said, it does take its... Like the youngest come out of it, well not youngest, but the boy come out of it first because he didn't really believe
what was going
on. Then the youngest kind of sort of...
It's kind of like you sit there and go, hang on.
Yeah, I don't really believe this is going on.
And then the oldest is there believing it more because she's been around...
Because she's been around the family for longest, like the parents.
Yeah. So this is what you're going to come to the conclusion of. You believe it was this French mental health term or whatever else.
Folie à deux.
It's a rare psychological condition.
Yeah, but it is very plausible.
And I reckon it was that as well, because obviously since they all returned home safely and they haven't been killed yet, it seems that it all just a spur of the moment road trip, no gadgets, and they tried to out-Tromp each other.
Pretty much.
So yeah, no real conclusion for this one. It's just a family going mental for a week, maybe a little bit more.
And then the kids just slowly coming out of it.
So what do you guys think? Do you think maybe they were actually being watched? Maybe they were paranoid, or were they just completely and utterly mental to begin with? Well, I was kind of upset there was no religious cult.
I was upset there was no murders, no blood, nothing.
Next one there will be. So we've been the Unsettled. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
Hit that notification bell.
And drop a comment below on what cases you might want to see next. I mean, it's not like...
Or what you think this family of groovy hippie road trippers...
I just reckon they tried to out-Tromp each other.
That's a good one.
They did. See you next time.
Bye.